Can you really buy a business zero down? $1 million business that creates a six-figure passive income for you starting on day one? And can you do it zero down and without a loan? We've been doing some experiments lately, and it may surprise you to see just how easily you can do this. And it's largely because so many people are missing something that's obvious and right in front of them. It's not their fault. This has always happened throughout history, and here is a perfect example. For at least 3,000 years, smallpox was humanity's most feared enemy. It scarred mummies in Egypt, toppled empires, and wiped out entire cities and civilizations almost overnight. Smallpox killed 1 out of 3 people who caught it, and most of the survivors were left blind, disfigured, infertile, and sometimes all of the above and even worse. For thousands of years, doctors had tried everything from hot rooms, cold rooms, wrapping in red cloths, fasting, sweating, alcohol, poisoning, surgery, isolation, and every medication available at the time, and nothing worked. The only semi-effective solution was something called variolation, which was scratching the pus from a smallpox blister and putting it into a healthy person's arm. Sometimes it gave them a mild case of smallpox that built immunity, but sometimes, more often than not, it would actually kill them outright. It was a high-risk gamble with your life, but it was the best-known way to fight it. That was the only hope. Until one day in 1796, after thousands of years of smallpox devastation, a physician was on a farm and he noticed something bizarre about the milkmaids. The milkmaids were the women who were in charge of milking the cow. The doctor noticed that the milkmaids on the farm never got smallpox. He asked around, and it seemed that nobody anywhere had ever known of a milkmaid to get smallpox. The doctor learned that what the milkmaids did get was cowpox, a mild disease that came from the sores on cows' udders, and it produced a few blisters but nothing serious. Nobody died from cowpox. The doctor wondered, could cowpox protect against smallpox? So he tested it, and he used the same variolation method. A young milkmaid named Sarah Nelms recently caught cowpox, so he scratched the cowpox pus from her hand and he put it in the arm of an 8-year-old boy named James Phipps. The boy got mildly ill from cowpox. Then the doctor deliberately exposed the boy to smallpox. He tried to give the boy smallpox and nothing happened. The boy was immune. The doctor did it. He found the cure for smallpox. And when he wrote about it, he used the Latin word for cow, vaxa, and that's how Edward Jenner came up with the vaccine. This eventually led to the eradication of smallpox, and to this day it is the only human disease that we have totally wiped off the earth. It was officially declared so in 1980, and it had killed over 500 million people just in that last 100 years, not to mention the 3,000 plus years before that. But it's gone now thanks to the vaccine. Jenner is considered today to have saved more lives than any other human in history. So what's this have to do with buying a business zero down? Here's why I'm bringing this up. We know that smallpox had been around and been wiping people out for at least 3,000 years, right? But we also know that in modern-day Turkey, they found degraded fat residues on ancient pottery that would only come from a cow's milk. That meant that cows were being milked by then, and that was at least 8,000 years ago. So smallpox was around for 3,000 years, but for at least 8,000 years we were milking cows. So for the entire 3,000 years of smallpox, people were milking cows, but nobody noticed that people milking cows weren't getting smallpox. Isn't that crazy? Nobody noticed it. And when you think about what Jenner did, it didn't require special medical equipment or training or technology. At any time in history, anybody could have taken the pus from a cowpox and put it on somebody else's own. You didn't need a degree in neurology for that. So anybody could have done it, but nobody did. The smallpox vaccine was a ripple that saved hundreds of millions of lives, and it changed the trajectory of humanity. But it could have been done at any time during those 3,000 years, but nobody noticed something that seems so obvious to us today. We call these things asymmetricals, tiny hinges that swing very big doors. I'm Azam Meo, and if you're new here, I run the Midwest Real Estate Investor Association at BigRia.com. My friends and I started this project because we are obsessed with asymmetricals and how everyday people can harness their power to create extraordinary results. Specifically, we help people create a six-figure passive income from buying real estate and small businesses zero down. We have thousands of success stories in over 20 countries, so if you want to get a copy of my free book, How to Buy $1 Million Business That Pays You 6 Figures a Year in Passive Income zero down, go to BigRia.com. You know, it's funny, the more and more people that I've worked with, I find that just like with humanity and the way humanity was blind to the lessons from cow milkers, so many real estate investors and business owners have massive opportunities right in front of them that they aren't seeing, and they could be realized just by making that one introduction, that one connection that can make them 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 30 times as much money easily and immediately. A main asymmetrical that we use are joint ventures. We help business owners by introducing them to people, ideas, and resources that will double or more their business overnight by doing JVs. These asymmetricals can help make quantum leaps in your income, lifestyle, and impact. We've been doing some experiments on this, and they've had some amazing results. Just by introducing a business owner to that one person, it's amazing. You can have this life-changing ripple effect that will allow you to be able to buy businesses yourself zero down. This simple technique of doing JVs is how you can create passive income, build generational wealth, and reshape your family tree. If you want to see examples of how people are doing this every single day and how you too can do this, go to BigRia.com.